Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Captain Frank Hawks, and today I would like to talk a little bit about martial arts. What I am doing currently is practicing ninjutsu. In ninjutsu, you should make all of your own equipment. I fundamentally use where did I put it? Use a hacksaw blade, and I'm just going to do this while I'm talking to you because basically I have found that the little handle that I put on this makes this a little too wobbly, so I have a choice of either cutting the hacksaw blade or lengthening the handle, and cutting the hacksaw blade would require a hacksaw. Yeah, now I could probably see if my 10 snips would do. So the reason why I want to talk about martial arts today, nope, not even anyway, is because, every time I go on the YouTube to look for tomahawk reviews or things of that nature, what I end up finding is a lot of people from a variety of different martial arts talking about axe fighting from their martial art perspective. And most of the time, pertinent to tomahawk long knife fighting, it is almost wholly and entirely incorrect. Now, as far as those people are concerned, I want you to know I don't blame them. There's not a lot of information. There's about one or two people who are doing any specific thing as far as tomahawk long knife fighting is concerned. One of them would be Dwight C. McLemore. But I would remind those people that what people are looking for may not be what you're offering. And as upsetting as that might be, them's the facts, bruh. See, people are looking to regain some part of their American heritage. It is an American martial art, which is partially based on... Here, give me a second. This is going to be a little wobbly. I'm going to use the tripod as a peg to hold the hemp. There we go. So, essentially speaking, tomahawk long knife fighting comes from Western European boarding axe techniques, Native American techniques, and some African techniques. It is a true blending of cultural fighting and is part of what makes us American. If it were not for the tomahawk, if it were not for the long rifle, we would not be free. And that is what people are looking for. The history of their freedom. And so, if you, for instance, Doug Marcaida, practices Kali, if I've got that piece of information correct, if he is employing a tomahawk and long knife in the format of Kali, then he is not practicing American tomahawk long knife fighting. He is practicing Kali. The same if you were to pick up a tomahawk and practice Aikido. You would not be practicing American tomahawk and long knife fighting. You would be practicing Aikido. And so, understand, and there are also the guys who are in their backyard who have no resources, but they happen to have a camera and YouTube is free, and they try to talk about their native culture and where many of these concepts and works come from. And so they're just doing the best they can with what they have. And many times that's all there is. And so before you wholly and entirely invest yourself in one or the other, I would recommend that you recognize this. Because there are only a few people doing the experimental archaeology to be able to discover what real tomahawk and long knife fighting is, and that you as a consumer be cautious. That might stabilize things a little bit better. So, for instance, I am practicing a format that I learned from Master Park. I am doing it slightly different, but it is essentially the same format. I have a hacksaw, blade. I have a little oil, which helps cutting things a little bit easier, and I'm just following a line. That's all that I'm doing here. This takes a long period of time, but it neither heats up this saw blade nor this piece of metal more than actually attaching this to the hacksaw and laying in and creating a fairly inaccurate piece. Because I do have, let me see if I can find them. I do have throwing stars that I have made that way. I made 3 of them that way, and they are misshapen, longer on one side than the other, and as a piece fairly inaccurate to throw because they're X-shaped, not star-shaped. The weight is not evenly distributed. Whenever you don't learn how to do things like this properly, it causes problems. Do these stick? Oh yes, they do. But I want greater degrees of precision. In order to get those greater degrees of precision, we have to take our time. Constantly be lining things up. We actually have to learn the proper methodology. I would suggest, as I always do, where learning how to do things is concerned, dojo mentality. While we are here to learn this, we are learning this. All other data has no business. This takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work doing it this way. But in the end, I will have a piece that is significantly more accurate to what it is that I'm after. It will take time and patience, something many of us don't have anymore. I need a brace. I don't really need to anchor it down to anything, but I do need a brace. So I'm going to kind of loosely put this down so I can anchor it under. Kind of like that. So if I wanted to, I could stick this edge in here and hold it there, which is going to make my job significantly easier. And fairly short term. This is a long process. It's difficult, as all martial arts should be. Learning a skill in this manner creates discipline, which is necessary to exact such skills in the real world. Discipline and mindful thought. This is also part of the path of the warrior. If you would like me to, I will post a video where I throw my shuriken at a cardboard box. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would like to see more content like this, I would like you to consider subscribing to my Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and it keeps me producing videos like this one. Beyond that, have fun, be safe, take care of each other. I'm Captain Frank Hawks, and I'm signing out.